welcome to literally the worst parts in Ocarina of Time. You know what? Possibly the worst part in any Zelda game ever. I just really hate Jabu Jabu.
You know, I'm glad I ate dinner already, because this would destroy my appetite. I do not like how this looks.
I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean, okay, aesthetically, or not aesthetically, but in terms of design, which I know people are going to say, is that the same thing? No. Like, I think they did a good job.
I mean,
based on the limitations of the time, but I still hate it.
No, going off of, this is kind of impressive that it can look just this fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the fact that it looks fucking disgusting, which, you know, I suppose was the point.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't like how it looks, but they did a good job, I guess.
You know, shouldn't it be pitch black in here?
Don't, Brian.
Well, let's just say that the fairy lights up every room you're in.
Although, one of the things, replaying it now, I was getting severe Monstro flashbacks, which we'll get to Kingdom Hearts soon enough.
Oh, I thought you just meant from the movie, not Kingdom Hearts.
No, there's a Kingdom Hearts level where you're inside Monstro.
Right.
It's a lot cuter, though. Like, they tried to actually make it a little less gross.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Square Enix, even though I've never played Kingdom Hearts, probably won't.
Like I said, we'll get to it.
Nobody got time. I will play vicariously through you.
Yeah, well, that's basically what you're doing with Ocarina here, so...
Yeah, but, you know, I could get the 3DS version. Actually, I could get the N64 version. My N64 still works.
You can also get the GameCube version.
The Virtual Console version, or the toaster oven version.
I mean,
the printer
my one
version.
thing is, I still need to do the Master Quest version on GameCube. I haven't yet because I just really prefer playing with the N64 controller.
Is that just because you're used to it, or is it better for this type of game?
Yeah, it's preference. But
right.
The Master Quest version, everything is mirrored, and they might do slightly more damage. I'm not sure about that off the top of my head, but I know everything is mirrored. So it's...
Does that actually make it harder?
I mean, you can't just go off memory at that point. You have to mentally reverse everything.
I mean, I would probably have a lot of trouble, but never mind.
That's why it's like, I'm interested in trying it, but at the same time, I just really, really prefer playing it on the N64. I played Majora's Mask on the GameCube because, I didn't tell you, there's 2 versions on the GameCube. There's one collector's edition on the GameCube that has the original Legend of Zelda, then Adventures of Link, then Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. And that's how I play Majora's Mask. And then I got it for the N64, and I really prefer playing that on the N64 too.
Now, does it look any better?
No, but there is some sound distortion from, like, the transfer process. There's some note when you boot up the game about how it might not look or sound the same. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely true. Having played the GameCube and the N64 ones, it's definitely, there is some distortion. It's not major, but it's there.
Does that make it worse, or?
Well, if you're like
when I hear distortion,
you really like sounds, then yes, it does make it a little worse, but not unplayable.
Okay. Well, alright then.
When these sounds are ingrained into your mind and are like a deep-rooted part of your childhood, yes, it makes a difference.
Yeah, you know, like I can hear minuscule differences in like different sounds from different things. Like even within the same song, I can hear differences between different phrases. Mm-hmm. They're basically the same thing, so it would probably bother me too.
Yeah, it's like the Ocarina chimes are just slightly off. Well, not chimes, notes, you know. And just stuff like that. Also, I normally don't have a hard time with this thing, but since I have, like, no health...
You're trying to be really careful.
I'm trying to be very cautious, because this thing will fuck me up.
That's not Jabu Jabu's uvula, is it?
You know what, I've always wondered. I believe it's a parasite, is what Navi said.
Oh. How'd it get in here? What are you getting?
Same way all
That
parasites
fiend?
get in giant fish gods, I would think.
Do giant fish gods eat smaller fish gods?
I mean, maybe.
How many fish gods are there?
I don't know. I ain't no Zora.
Yeah, no. Now, you've played the 3DS version, right?
Yes.
Does this dungeon look better than that, or does it just look more realistic?
Everything's just kind of smoother. They kept everything stylized the same. They just kind of smoothed it out.
So still obscene, got it.
Yes, it's just a
But
little
smoother.
nicer to look at. Not like marginally, but you know.
Alright. Is the boomerang the only thing that damages?
I
guy?
believe so, but in my defense, I don't remember ever trying anything else.
Try throwing your sword at it.
That is not an option.
Well, it should be.
Well, it's not. Deal with it.
You just keep inching forward like, yeah, no, maybe not. I'm gonna get, You're trying to coax him out, right? So
Well, you have to get close enough that he wiggles out so you can hit the weak spot with the boomerang, but not so close that he does that.
Slaps you, right. Be gone.
At this point, I've basically resigned myself to death because he's being stubborn.
I mean, don't you have 2 fairies, though?
Yes, but I need them for the boss battle.
So what, you gonna reset, or?
No, that wouldn't help. I had to redo the whole fucking dungeon.
Right, yes.
Also, you might not know that. No, I think Wind Waker does the same thing. I don't know why Zelda games do this, because it's always bothered me, and I don't know if Breath of the Wild does this too, since I still haven't gotten around to playing it. But if you save and quit, no matter where you are...
It puts you at the beginning, yes.
Yeah, it'll put you at the house, or in this game, if you're an adult, it'll put you at the temple time.
Yeah, okay, the fuck.
I don't understand it. What's the point of being able to save and quit in the middle of a dungeon if I'm gonna have to remember where the fuck I left off?
Now, that was a huge problem for me in my first playthrough of Wind Waker, because I actually rented it the first time I played it. And then I didn't play it again for, like, years?
Mm-hmm.
Like, more than 5 years, but I never deleted the save data, so I just started off. And I was at the Forest Temple, and I thought I was stuck because I was in a room where nothing was happening. But that's only because I had already done what that room entailed.
Like, I 100% recommend never stop in the middle of a dungeon.
Yeah.
That is how you miss keys and get stuck in the water temple for 3 hours. Like, I have vague memories of that happening to me as a child.
Oh, God.
I missed a key, and when we get to the water temple, there will be this one part of the game that I'm constantly I try to get to as soon as you pass it, but you can't get to it until later, and that's because that's the key I missed. And then I end up missing...
So it's still plaguing you.
Spoilers, I end up missing a different key.
Oh my God. Alright. Now, what would you... I've heard terrible, terrible things about the water temple. And I suppose we'll talk about it more when we get there.
It's not actually that... Okay, the Ocarina of Time one is not that bad. It's just a lot of going back and forth because you can only get to certain rooms when the water's a certain level. Like, it's not that bad. In contrast, I hate the Majora's Mask water temple. Great Bay Temple.
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking find my way in that to save my life.
No, I saw somebody play through that. And I'm like, well, I would get in there and I would never leave. I would never leave because...
And again, it wasn't even my first time playing it. Like, the second time I played it, I could not fucking find my way around.
Like, we all know how shitty my memory is. Like, there's no way I would just run around in circles forever.
Yeah, I would follow the pipes and I wouldn't go to the right place. And I'm like, but I'm following the pipes, I don't understand. Yeah, you just fucking... My Majora Mask amiibo is out. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
How long did it take you the first time?
I don't even remember. Like, honestly, got no clue. Think games that I've played since high school, I have, like, not a lot of memory. Specific
Yeah,
memories. Actually, I had the same problem with Minish Cap. And that was like 2003. I like have no memories of Minish Cap. Except that like Vatu's in it and it's kind of cute, and I spent a lot of time getting all the records so I could play all the records. And there's a pot. There's a pot that spits winds. And I think there's Pegasus boots.
Alright, pot that spits winds. That's clearly the most important part, so.
Like, that, seriously? Oh, wait, no, there's the giant choo-choo. Or clue. I call them choo-choos.
Well, isn't there an enemy that's called the choo-choo, though?
Yes, that's the mouse thing in here, and it's not an enemy, it's a bomb. Or the mice might be choo-choos, too. There's a bomb choo.
What the fuck? Because in Wind Waker there are choo-choos, and also in Breath of the Wild there are choo-choos, like the goo monster things.
Are they mice?
No, they're the goo monsters.
Oh, those are clues, I thought.
Can I not read? Like, let me...
No, like, Brian, I am so not the one to ask for that. I've been calling them the wrong thing, and maybe I've been calling them the right thing this whole time.
Alright, let me just look.
Clues was an NES game.
Alright, I type choo-choo, and I get the goo monster.
TV, nursery rhymes, and kid songs.
Yeah, no. Like...
No, apparently they are choo-choos and not clues, so I don't fucking know. Anyway, one of the like first boss is a quote-unquote giant choo-choo, but it's not giant, you're just tiny.
Right,
That's the extent of what I remember from Minish Cap.
I've never played Minish Cap, but like in a gameplay trailer or something.
I might record it at some point, just because I don't remember any of it, and I kind of want to play it again, because I'm like, I have like barely any memories of this. I remember liking Edslow. I remember being a smartass.
Yeah, it seems like your speed.
I am all for smartass talking objects. I'm still trying to convince my LARP people to give me a sentient tats.
That's it. That sounds perfect for you.
Well, I already have Frank. By the way, so everyone, an update on Frank. He's a piece of shit. I mean, he's not a piece of shit, but he's obnoxious. He's like, oh, you don't utilize me enough. You never do enough sacrifices. It's like, well, I just sacrificed shit to you. Yeah, but they weren't good sacrifices.
What's his definition of a good sacrifice?
You know what? I'm not sure, but he and Codex, you know, my book fairy thing, were mad at me because they thought I was trying to replace them with a talking sword, and I didn't know the sword talked. I was just trying to get the sword for part of another quest, and then it talked, and I'm like, oh shit. And it's like, hey, you don't have room to carry me. I see you've already got some stuff bonded to you, and I'm like, But for some reason, both Frank and Codex decided I was trying to replace them, so he got pissy, and she was crying in a corner.
Wait, can these things move on their own?
Well, I was in a specific room in my library where they can kind of like manifest themselves, so that's when we met the sword too. And my friend co-player and I who stole the sword, we named him Aurelius. He's pretty chill. He's just like, yeah, what's up? And Frank's like, you trying to replace me with a sword. And I'm like, oh my god, stop.
Well, a sword is basically just a longer knife, so...
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
Yeah. I know Frank got to fight one of the other players because they were like, hey, have you ever tried to give Frank energy to just, you know, fight shit by himself? And I'm like, why would I do that? And they're like, do it. It'll be cool. So he was like floating around, fighting another player who was like, this is fucking bullshit, because he couldn't hit it because it was a floating sword. It was funny though. And Frank said he was having so much fun, and then he cusses me out because I never sacrifice things enough. Even though we always keep them full, which I pointed out to him. And he's like, well, yeah, how would you feel if you were full of sacrifices all the time? We never killed things. And I'm like, you do kill things! And then I refill you with sacrifice!
Seems like Frank needs an attitude adjustment.
Yeah,
Just
well,
say.
we're about to get to the end of the story where he's important, so I don't know what's gonna happen to him after that.
Just throw him off a cliff.
No, there's a
Sacrifice the
possibility I
rocks down
might
there.
lose him, which I kind of don't want to, but because I like my sentient items as
Right.
much as Frank is a pain in the ass. But he's the only thing that can kill the Blight Queen. That's his job. That is his one job.
And that's why you have him.
Yes. I got him to stop the Blights. This plot has been going on for like 3 years, Brian.
Okay, well, that seems like quite the commitment.
Oh yeah, and I had a breakdown in the middle of one of the mods last time because the Blight go like World War Z.
What?
The Blight train has no brakes, Brian.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't really sound like it would.
No. It was not good. I was getting fucking swarmed.
Now, is there an option to try to reason with the Blight Queen?
I mean, maybe, but she also has Dominate, so she can control people. Or no, vampiric charm is what she has, but she's not a vampire, she's just blood magic. At least I'm pretty sure she's not a vampire.
I hope she's not a vampire.
I mean, it doesn't matter, because right now, spoilers, our plan is for the guy who fought Frank. What he's going to do is we're going to fly over where she is, because we know where she is right now. He is going to dive out of the airship, die, use a contingency light, drop a ritual platform, intentionally flaw it so that it blows up, and kills all the blight around her and damages her, then we're gonna parachute down and take her out.
What?
That's his plan.
Is this... Call me crazy, but I don't feel like any plan that includes dying as a mandatory step.
He has a contingency life.
Okay, but... If you use your contingency life, don't you not get any more contingency lives?
Well, it depends.
What do you mean it depends?
Well, because he and I are trying to find, trying to create magic items and stuff to get multiple contingency lives. If you're a healer, you can use as many contingency lives as you have spell slots. If you really wanted to, I guess. But he's not a healer. He has it on a magic item. I want to get it on a magic item too, because I have a move called Vengeance, because I am a warlock. And that means that if someone kills me, I do 280 points of damage to them that they cannot dodge or resist. But then I'm dead. So if I had a contingency life, I could pop an 280 point Vengeance, pop my contingency life, and then run away.
I mean,
that's what I want to do. They actually just gave me a ritual that will let me do exactly that. But it's not.
I mean,
and
with
also
the
I just need contingency lights so I can sneak into limbo without dying.
Would the 280 damage kill whoever you're...
The Blight Queen? Probably not.
Oh, well, I thought you were... Oh, you meant specifically for the Blight Queen. I see. I thought you just meant, like, as a general tactic.
No, he and I just really want contingency lives in general. We're not in classes that normally get contingency lives, so we have to find weird ways to do it. I think he's actually getting a potion. He's got a recipe to do alchemy for a contingency life. And I'm like, okay, but I want like 5 contingency lives.
But how do I get like 100 contingency lives?
We'll see how that goes. We're going to be doing that in October, which is bad because that probably means that the undead are going to be boosted because October is always the month of Sethos.
That makes sense. I didn't know real world time played into.
To an extent. Like, October is the one where that, like, always makes a difference. October is always boosted undead. Always month of Sethos.
Alright then.
Although last year we had like 2 or 3 months that were the month of chaos.
What? How can there be more than 1 month of chaos?
I mean, because he was bored.
Okay, wow.
Actually, I don't think he was bored. I think he was very interested in what was going on.
Okay. Alright. Is this a mini-boss, or...
Yes, this is a mini-boss. This is a giant Octorok.
Why is it taking so long?
Because what you have to do is you have to chase it around, get close enough to hit it with the boomerang and stun it, and then stab the eyeball on its butt just like this. And now I just did it the last time because you had to do it like 4 times or some shit.
Okay, why 4? I've always hated that when there's a really obvious, straightforward but tedious strategy, and then make it you do it more than 3 times. It doesn't seem fair to me.
Well, that's the thing, is that I don't think there's a single boss in this game where you can only do it 3 times. Unless I'm doing something wrong. Because I was keeping track of that.
Like, you know, for the dungeon bosses, maybe I could understand, but the mid-bosses too?
Yeah. Although, to be fair, most of them don't have mini-bosses. This one does. The dongos don't really... Well, I don't consider the Lizafos mini-bosses. I guess you could, but I don't.
I wouldn't really either. Like, they seem more like just stronger enemies.
I mean, they make a big deal about them showing up, though. That's the only reason why I could see people saying that they're mini-bosses.
But they show up more than once.
They show up in the same room twice, but it's once on the first floor, once on the second floor.
Oh, do they only show up at one dungeon, or?
No.
Right, so... How could they be a mini-boss if they keep showing up?
Because you can't, I don't think you can leave the room until they're dead, so it's debatable. I don't think they count, but I can concede that it is debatable. I guess that was the end of the episode. Kind of just snuck up. I remember I had to split this dungeon weird because it's weird. So, tune in next time where I will probably talk about talking sentient items a little less.